Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Common Man Tutorials. In this video, we are going to see what a defragmentation of a computer is. So it is one of the ways, to speed up your systems. We have already seen a different way to clear out the temporary files to speed up your systems. However, it does not contribute to 100% of, speeding up your systems. It may contribute around 20-25% of speeding up your system, but if you still feel your system is a bit slow, please do this process, the disk defragmentation. However, just going to explain the theoretical part of what a defragmentation is in this part of the video. So in this next part of this video, I will explain you how to practically do it. But before that, we should just understand why we are going to do this and what it really means and how it speeds up the system, right? And also, we have a common question in our mind whether only the mechanical hard disks can be defragmented and why not SSD? Can we format SSD? So those are the questions that we are going to answer in this session. In today's scenario, right, we use systems with a huge disk space. But do we care or know how our data is getting written up in these systems? Before we decode the term defragmentation, let us understand this first. We install a variety of programs, either native programs or third-party softwares, store a variety of documents, videos, images, etc. in our systems, right? With those programs or files, we do multiple CRUD operations. CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. So whatever kind of softwares or files, it do undergo a creation process, a read process, an updation process, and finally a deletion process, right? So with each of these operations, there is a significant amount of changes that our hard disk undergoes. So when we just buy a brand new PC, there is nothing written up into your hard disk. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that system and do three things here. So first, I'm going to install a software, say KM Player, which is a video software. And then I'm going to store my channel's video, and then I'm going to do a copy of an audiobook. So these are the three files that I'm going to copy or install into my brand new PC, right? So a fresh hard disk, when I do this, right, it is very organized. So when I install a software, let's take these three things. When I install this KM Player software, the software is not a single piece of data or an information or a program that's going to sit on top of your hard disk. It is going to get divided into single pieces of chunks, multiple pieces of chunks. I'm sorry. It is going to get divided into multiple pieces of chunks, which is going to sit on different blocks on your hard drive, right? So this is how it looks. A KM Player, for example, is when I install in my system, it is broken down into 4 pieces of chunks, and these chunks sits on one block of your hard disk. So here you can see again your Common Man editorials video. When I have it on my machine, it is not a single data file, it is not a single video file as per your hard disk. It is going to be split up into multiple pieces of small chunks, and then it's going to get written to your hard disk, right? So this is how your fresh hard disk looks like. Till now it is very fine. The read, update, create, and delete operations is going to be really very fast. But over the time, I'm not going to have the system as it is, right? I might uninstall this KM Player, say tomorrow if some other brand new version of video software is coming up, video players is coming up in the market, and then I'm going to install this that into my system and uninstall this KM Player, right? So if that is going to happen, let us take another scenario where I'm going to uninstall this KM Player and remove my audiobook, that is delete my audiobook from my system, and then add a small image, which is a Common Man editorials logo, whatever kind of image you have in your system. So this is how a modified hard disk looks like. So you can see the image, the KM Player is completely installed and the audiobook is completely installed. So you have the free space in the column 1 and column 3. So here you can see when I copy this CME logo, right, it is not going to, though it is getting split up into 3 pieces of chunks, I cannot see that image getting copied to the first column, right? It is going to get split up in as a block 2 in column 1 block 2 in column 3 and block 4 in column 3. So this is how it is going to split up. Also, you can see a lot of free spaces are available in my system here and there, right? Tomorrow, if I just come and copy some of the things, what a hard disk is going to do is it is going to copy those files into these free spaces, right? So let us see another example. Now I'm going to delete that CME logo, add few images like CME banner, PDF, Analytics Excel, which is basically Excel file and a PDF file, and a video editor software. So this is how it looks like. So what happens is that once I remove the CME logo, what happens is that this image of this column 1 and column 3 will get deleted. So you will have complete free space in column 1 and column 3. Now what happens is that when I just copy this PDF file, it is getting split up into two blocks of chunks, and then it is going to go into block 1 of column 1, block 3 of column 1, right? So again, what happens is that the Excel is getting split up into two chunks. The banner is getting split up into two chunks. Free video editor, which is a kind of software, is going to get installed or written up into your hard disk into two different chunks. So this is how your modified hard disk look like. So here comes the real problem. So now you can fairly say your hard disk is fragmented. So what is a fragmented disk? So a single piece of information is getting split up and stored in multiple places in your hard disk. So that is what we call it as a fragmented disk. So why should we really fragment? Before we understand the term defragmentation, we should really understand why this is causing a real problem. So when I go to the previous example, what happens is that when I try to read this PDF file, when I try to retrieve the payslip PDF file and read for me, so I can see this is getting added in the first block of column 1 and third block of column 1. So what happens is that this hard disk has to combine this information, take block 1 and block 3, combine the information, and then render it back into my Adobe viewer or whatever kind of PDF viewer you have in your system. So it takes a bit of time, right? So it has to identify, consolidate all the wherever this PDF chunks are stored in your hard drive, and then it has to collect everything. It has to reorganize and then deliver it to you. So it is going to impact your performance. That's why you might see just double clicking of some PDF or Excel in your system takes much of time, right? So how can we eliminate this kind of a scenario, and how can we improve the system performance? So this is the defragmented disk. So when we do perform the defragmentation in our disk, this is how the defragmented hard disk looks like. Anyway, I will just show this in action in the next part of the video, but this is how it looks like. So it identifies the pieces of information which are related ones, and then it will organize into the hard disk and write it accordingly, right? So when you see this PDF, it is grouped and it is present in the block 1 and block 2 of column 1. Excel is written in block 3 and block 4 of column 1. So banner is organized and the video editor is also organized. So when I just double click on this payslip PDF for the next time, it's going to instantly bring me up the PDF rather than searching for the data pieces which are stored in your hard disk. So this is called a defragmentation. So defragmentation stands for defragmenting the fragmented disk, right? So hope you understand what this defragmentation term means. And finally, there is one question that we have to address is, can we go ahead and defragment the SSDs? There are two types of hard disk, right? So one is the HDD and the other one is SSD. We should be performing this defragmentation only in case of mechanical hard disk and not on SSDs. Why? Because SSD is a flash drive. So when you keep on erasing something from the flash drive and keep on writing it, over the period of time, the performance of the SSD will just go down. So in build, like why we say the SSD is fastest, because this is a flash drive, and even though the pieces of information are present here and there within the SSD hard drive, it is going to do the same performance as that of the defragmented mechanical hard disk. right? So there is no performance impact in storing the pieces of information here and there in SSD. So please do not defragment the SSD. It will impact the performance of SSD, and over the period of time, your flash drive will go off. So that's all we have in this part of the video. Definitely, I will just explain you how to defragment a disk in the next part of video. Until then, please follow my blog, subscribe to the channel, and then like my video, share with your friends. Thanks for watching.